in the night.
Welcome to Bump in the Night Society presents Exploring Your Society. I'm your host, Sean Bowman.
And I'm Phil Caye.
We're here tonight with our newest member, Troy Baumgartner. Say what's up, Troy.
Hello, hello.
Whoop, whoop.
So, Troy, the first thing we usually start off is like, what was your first experience with the paranormal?
Oh, first experience. Wow. So my first experience that I can remember is when I was a little kid. I was in my bedroom, and it was like a modular. So there was a long hallway, and there was a bright light that came down the hallway. I could see it come through, and then there was this figure that stood in my doorway. It was I always think of it as an angel, but it was broad, kind of. I won't say it had wings, but it could have. But it was definitely had the shape of a head, but there was no face to it. It was blank, and it was all really like a gold white light. And I was scared to death in bed, and I'm like sitting there with the covers like up to my eyes like a normal little kid would, and I'm like clenching my eyes like they look like they're shut and open. And then when I opened my eyes finally, it almost like I scared it, and then it just went really fast and took off back down the hallway, and you could see the light fading as it went. So it was that was my first experience. I always took it as like a guardian angel. But it wasn't, I mean, it was scary at the time, but it was actually kind of comforting. But that was my first experience. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Did you end up encountering that again at all, or was that like
I have never seen that again. Definitely a lot of other experiences, but with that particular type, no. But it was it was very humbling. It was like I said, it definitely was more of a warm feeling. It really wasn't scary. I mean, it was more of the shock that was the scary. But and I've thought since then, I'm like, I can be. I'm a believer, but I can also be skeptical. So I won't say that I haven't said, "Oh, was I actually dreaming?" But I know I wasn't dreaming, but I still kind of try to dismiss it. But there really is no way I can.
Yeah, it's like you always try to look for like a logical reason, because I know anytime I've had something happen, like at the time, like you're scared or whatever, or like just shocked in general. But then you go back and look at it, and you're like, did that actually, it could have been coincidence or something,
Definitely. I think part of it is, like we try to dismiss it because there is that, that stigma in society that, it's not real and you're crazy and you're a kook.
Right.
Think that or believe that. So I think that's where it comes from with a lot of those experiences. And I think that's why you don't have, I think there's a lot more out there that people just don't talk about them. So, it's, and we've talked about that with some of the investigations we've done recently, where I've said I've had feelings or things like that, but I'm more hesitant to express those things because I'm still kind of getting into that. Okay, I can say this, and it's not, everybody's not looking at me and judging me for that. So,
yeah, I think the more like you do it, the more in tune you come with stuff. Like,
right.
I can agree.
I would never say like I'm like sensitive or not, but I mean, always had feelings here and there if like something bad was going to happen, especially when I was younger. It seemed like I think I've told the story before, but I was on a water slide when I was a little kid, and my dad was behind me. Like I went down the water. We were Conneaut Lake, actually. Went down the water slide. Then my dad came down, ran me over, pinned me under the water. But it was like I knew it was something bad was going to happen before it happened. Like my mom was freaking out, and the lifeguard was freaking out, and everything. But I've had like little stupid things like that, like throughout the years, where like I know something bad's about to happen before it happens.
I think that can happen with like everybody too. It just depends on what age you are,
Just like an intuition type of thing, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, absolutely. It's like, you walk into a, this is a really bad example, but like a bar, and you can just see some of the people and their eyes, and you're just like, I don't know, some shit's gonna go down. You just have that feeling. It sucks, but sometimes you just have that thing with you where you can't really shut it off because it keeps on creeping up at you. Like Mikey's comment, Sean is quote unquote sensitive. That was funny.
Well, and I see Peggy's question on there. I'm still trying to learn Peggy, so I can't even say what I am yet. I have had some good experiences with it, and I've had some not so good experiences. So we might get that a little bit later, but I actually felt like we were in a haunted house when we lived in Texas for a while. So it was pretty traumatic. And I actually got to a point where I think I shut down all of those abilities because it got super sensitive for a while, to the point that it was overwhelming. And when that happened, everything kind of went away for a while. And coming back into this team and just the little bit we've done, I'm starting to see that again. It comes and goes, but it kind of hit on that last investigation. So yeah.
I was about to say, like, the pickle jar place really affected you quite evidently. It was crazy, man. I was actually genuinely concerned. I was like, holy crap.
It did. It and Monroe did a little bit, but yeah, this last one that was pretty bad.
I know that that's happened before with other people. Like I know when we were at Hillview, which Phil, I don't know if you were with us or not that time, but when we were in the chapel and Jen started crying.
Oh yeah, I was there.
The room or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, Brian was saying, I think kids are more open too. Which I think kids, animals. I mean, it seems like they can sense stuff that I guess adults can't as much.
Right.
But I think it's also like if you tap into it, like I said, if you use it more and if you try to look for it, I think it's more available. I guess open up your third eye, kind of.
Oh yeah, it's like listening to evidence from like one of the spirit box sessions. The more you turn it up and kind of dismiss everything around, you're like, now I can hear what they've been talking about. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man.
Well, how about how did we all meet, Troy?
Yeah, get to that, man. Let's go.
Scare House. That's where I met all you crazy people. Yeah, Phil and I, we became friends pretty quickly, I believe.
About like
I talked to you a little bit the first year. You and me and you, Sean, it was a few years before we really connected, but you were always way back in the back. I mean, I was normally in the front of the haunt, and you guys were normally towards the back.
Well, we shared a lot of costumes though too. Like we did the same roles a lot.
That's true too. True too. So we didn't really meet like interclide with each other too much. So I got to kind of know you gradually, but Phil, yeah, I got to know him pretty quick.
Oh yeah. We've known each other for what, like we're friends for like 7 years or something like that.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I think whenever me and Emily were still dating, matter of fact. I think
it was after that. I think it was right after that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Now look at us.
I know. Who would have thought?
Did you see Mikey's comment too?
What did he say? I love we all have some time to scare house. That's where Hannah and I had our first date. Oh, no kidding.
Ah, cool.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
Yes, a lot of memories. That's our haunt family.
Yeah, and then somebody said I'm friends with everyone. Well, yeah.
That's true. If we ever go out with him anywhere, that is so true. Like every 5 minutes. Oh, hey.
Yeah, I don't know who said that because it showed up that I said that as Bump in the Night, but I didn't say that, so I don't know who said that. Maybe Jen or something's on the page. I don't know.
Beats me. That's funny though. Oh man,
that's like with some of it. Like it says Facebook user. I'm guessing that's April.
I think it's April. Oh.
What happened?
I don't know. Oh, my God.
Oh.
Hey, baby. This is Annabelle from the dog.
I love it.
She's a sweetheart.
Aw.
Welcome back.
I was like, what the hell
To
happened?
work the bugs out here.
She has
No.
to make her entrance. I'll leave her alone. She's happy.
So,
I was trying to go
From
up
my
and
chair.
see what that person said, but then I like deleted out or something. I don't know what the hell happened.
That's funny. Oh, joy.
Still working out the kinks here. This is only the second time that we've done it live, so
We still love you.
No, it's good. It's good. Oh, good God. Get comfortable, God.
Oh, that's so cute. Bye, Sean. Hi, Annabelle.
There she goes.
Somebody asked Troy, what was your favorite experience with ghosts?
My favorite experience. Well, I put on my profile, I have to say, and I think it was just the excitement of my first haunt with the team at Crescent. I have to say our experience, Phil.
Yes,
it was actually me, Phil, and Jen. So we were in one of the jail cells, and there was one of the really known prisoners that was supposed to be housed there. I forget his name. But anyways, we were trying to talk to him. We were doing the correct me if I say this wrong, the Estes method.
Estes, yeah, I don't know.
Estes.
That's called channeling.
Yeah. Channeling. Jen was doing it with the soundproof headphones and the blindfold, and Phil and I were doing the questions. Well, we also had a grid light on facing the cells, and we were asking the questions. We were getting answers corresponding with what we were asking. The spirit wasn't too happy. He wanted us to leave. He was grumpy. But it was very interesting. So one of the second floor cell door areas, the grid lights went out. And so there was definitely something blacking out those grid lights. So I don't know if you got that on camera or not, Phil, but we did experience that. And we kept talking. And then all of a sudden the grid light just moved down, and it kept moving down. It did it twice. Each time it did it, it would dim. And we asked it, oh my gosh, we asked it something, and it it was basically get out. The light went out, and then it slammed down to the table.
Yep.
And me and Phil just kind of look at each other like, holy shit. And about that time, Jen takes the earphones off, and we scared the shit out of her because we're just like in this like totally like adrenaline mode. And it was pretty cool. It was I don't think none of us expected anything like that.
It was awesome.
So it was just pretty exciting. And we tried the grid light. The grid light worked fine. It wasn't any issue with the battery going dead or nothing like that. So, it was a pretty cool experience. Yeah. So I would say that was it. I really enjoyed that.
I'm not sure who that is that keeps asking questions, but there's another question for you.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Let's see. Let's go with Brian's first, because that other one I'll get more into.
Oh, it's Jen.
It's Jen. Hi, Jen. So how long have we been investigating the paranormal? I've always been interested in it. I didn't really do a quote unquote hunt until I did one at the old Scare House building. They used to do scare house hunts there once in a while, and Sean and I actually went there. Stephen was there. There was some other people. Dutters was the host.
I was with LaMonna and Chloe, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I
don't think I was there.
I don't know if they were there that time or not. We all split in like 3 different sections. It was the night when they got the candle that would light up on the stage. But the only thing we really got was the spirit box, which I am a fan of the spirit box. That's kind of my go-to, just because it seems
okay,
like
Mikey.
Mikey, I agree. I get it.
It is a fun device.
But it we got, as we all know, there's a spirit called Walter that we all talked about there, and Walter actually came up through the spirit box, so it was pretty exciting. Um, so that was a good night. Um, Scariest. Oh, geez. So we're gonna get to the crazy stuff now. Um, so if you go to the scariest type, so we had a home in Texas, and it was haunted. So before we moved in, we talked about stuff a little bit with our neighbors, and our neighbors actually had a picture of, we had a pool with a diving board. They had a picture of an angel that was over the diving board, and the people that lived there before us, we they were friends with our neighbors, and we all kind of met at a cookout one day, and they talked, and they had seen a lot of stuff there as well. So we didn't see nothing for a long time, but we did get to a point where we started hearing noises, just little things. It wasn't anything bad at the time, um, but it it grew more and more. It got more intense. We got to the point where um, one of the biggest things was we would hear, it was almost start out like scratching on the roof. Like it sounded like it was on the roof, but it would sound like it would go kind of like a mouse running across your roof, which was
Okay.
a weird thing, but it was like a real light scamper like that.
Yeah.
And it would get a little heavier, like over the course of months, weeks to months. And we started checking our attic out because we're like, okay, there's a squirrel in our attic. We don't want any nests or anything. They got in one of the vents, never saw anything. And I would say probably in about 8 months of that, there was a point where it was like an elephant stomping across and running across our roof.
Mm.
And it literally was shaking our house as it was. And it was very intense. And the first time that happened, me and Sean just looked at each other, and I mean, we were like, holy shit, what is it? And we went outside. There's nothing out there. There's no evidence of anything. It was just a very weird experience. We As it went on, we had shadows. We had full apparitions. I was sitting in my living room and watching TV. Our living room and dining room were all open. And I look, and all of our we had a zoo. We had 3 dogs and 3 cats. They were our babies, but they were all looking in the dining room. And I turn around, look in the dining room, and there is like this person right in our dining room. They had a red hoodie on. You couldn't see their face. Their hood was over, and they were standing there. And it was like probably 1 a.m. Sean was out. He was doing extreme couponing at the time. So he's out getting his deals while I'm being scared shitless. So I run back into his little couponing room, which had stuff all over the walls. I go in there, I'm calling him, and I'm just like, you need to get your ass home. You need to get your ass home. And when I'm talking to him, like everything that was hanging on the wall started shaking in that room. And it was just, yeah, it was pretty intense. That was probably the most scared I've ever been, just because I didn't know what that was. I really thought it was a person at first. I really thought it was a person in the house. But we had other people state that they had seen this red hood, and then he was with some couponers in our garage. We would sell some of this stuff in our garage, and he had some people there, and all of a sudden they saw someone jump off our roof and just walk away, and they literally went down to find this person, and there was no one there. So we don't know what it was. We don't know who it was. We don't know anything about it. I actually had a psychic person that we knew at the time say that they thought it was what they called the ill reaper. which I've never heard of before, and I've never heard of anybody else that's heard of it. But they call it an ear reaper that is not like, instead of death, it's more of a sickness.
That's weird.
I've never heard of that. So
No, I've never heard of that either.
interesting theory. Interesting theory. Maybe with the red instead of the black. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, it's you know, it's kind of open, but you know, there were a lot of other things happening. We had lights going on and off. We had, like I said, shadows. We would have a lot of noises. There were times where it sounded like a war was literally going on in our backyard. Just booms and bangs and like almost like fireworks. But you would open the door and it was completely quiet. It was the weirdest thing.
Good call.
We had our dog thrown off the bed.
Oh, jeez.
And our cat used to chase something in the house all the time. And our cat actually, one time we were standing in the living room and our cat actually went up in the air, flipped over twice, and landed on the ground. And the cat just stood there for a second and then took off. I mean, it scared the shit out of that cat. So, you know, whatever happened. Communicate with it. Well, so this is the same time. I know all this. This is where it sounds crazy. I'm saying all this, but it's like,
I'm sure we've heard crazier.
it's so crazy, but,
Look who you're talking about.
communicate with it. Yes. I would actually, this is where I felt like my abilities went and got kind of enhanced overboard. So this stuff was happening. I started. So something I will say at this time too, I have severe sleep apnea. So it was something that got diagnosed to me later on, but you know, I still wonder if some of that could have to do with my sleep apnea.
Yeah.
Because obviously I was not sleeping, so you know. But I mean, a lot of this is valid, and I mean, Sean was there. Sean backs it up. And
which, by the way, tell people who Sean is because they probably think you're talking about me.
Yeah, not this Sean. Yeah, Sean Bowman is my hubby. Sorry, Jim. No, my Sean. We've actually been together for 22 years. We've been married since
That's
2019.
awesome.
So
Yeah, man,
we are the old grouchy married couple that we're just
and it's awesome. It is
old bitchy gay couple.
awesome.
So.
Oh, it's great though. It's so fun. You guys are like the funnest too, like especially Sean, because we have the same dark sense of humor, and I'm like,
I love Jen. We can share. We'll do swaps, Jen. We'll swap. When you're pissed and I'm pissed, we'll swap shots for a little bit.
That'll be every day then.
Oh Lord.
Well, talking about Sean, I know that he has an interesting backstory in that, like all with the funeral home and all that stuff.
He did. So he worked in the funeral home. He worked at Samson's Funeral Home, which is it's no longer here. It was in Squirrel Hill. It's condos now. But he actually lived on the second floor. He was going through mortuary school, so he was doing the embalming and all that fun stuff. And I stayed there occasionally. But that place, it was like two houses put together. It was like two mansions put together. So there was a million rooms. It was a maze. And the second floor is where he lived. But you had to go to the restroom on the bottom floor. So you definitely heard like people walking down behind you. You always heard like footsteps and stuff. There was an apparition of a guy that was always reading the paper. There was like a bench on the first floor. Every morning you would see that guy there. And he would see others on the third floor is where the shower and stuff was. And you would see that a lot too. He would see stuff there. So I experienced a little bit of it. But he definitely has more stories than I do on that.
That's awesome.
Which is pretty intense. Yeah. Yeah.
Me and I would always like to do what he does, you know, just to be go to mortuary school. That'd be really cool.
I don't know. Dead bodies. No. I just, he was always like, there was one time where he was just like, he came upstairs and he's like, you got to come look at this. You got to come look at this person. I did such a great job on him. I did such a great job. And I'm like, I don't want to go down there and look at this person. I just don't. It was just so weird. Yeah, it was weird to me. So, he got mad, but he was so proud of himself. And important, he embalmed Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, that's
really?
just insane.
So yeah, that's another story he's got.
Oh gosh.
I agree with that. I like ghosts better than dead bodies.
yeah, I'd say so. I mean, dead bodies don't really move or anything, but
No, it's just I don't know.
It's funny that you bring up Mr. Rogers because I don't know if Mikey's still on here or not, but Mikey knows our buddy Robbie. Like he has some conspiracy against Mr. Rogers. He thinks something was going on with.
Oh, geez.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which I always like Mr. Rogers, but yeah.
Oh, he's a wonderful guy. The movie that came out with Tom Hanks playing it was incredible.
I've never seen it.
Oh, was it good?
I never watched the movie, but I watched him. I watched him as a kid.
Oh yeah. I think everybody was exposed to him. That was a good show.
Yeah.
I miss that man so much. He was actually born in Latrobe, which is where the Tin Lizzy is. So that was really cool. Just getting there.
Cool.
Someone says, "Leave Mr. Rogers alone." Thank you. Oh man.
So what's like a bucket list place you'd like to go, Troy?
I was just about to ask that.
I still want to go to West Virginia Penitentiary. That is.
Have you been to the haunted house there?
No.
You haven't been to any.
We went to the lunatic asylum, but not the penitentiary.
Okay, because their haunted house is pretty cool too, and they do an actual like North Walk where you can go do the ghost walk too at night.
Okay. That's the one place I've always wanted to go, and it, the Cosmos didn't let it happen, but it's okay. It's okay. We'll make it there one day.
I mean, come with us this year. We always go.
Heck yeah, man.
We'll make it. I definitely want to try that one out. I'm just enjoying all the ones that we've been going to. Monroe House was very good. I do want to. I am excited for Bel Air. I think that's going to be good, just from the stories you guys have talked about when you guys went before. So I'm thinking it's going to be similar to Monroe, maybe a little bit.
Bel Air, yeah, I'd compare it to Monroe.
Yeah. Is it more extreme than Monroe, or is it level same?
Well, like I said, the craziest thing I ever saw was at Bel Air, but Monroe was pretty active and pretty cool too.
Yeah.
And I've been to Bel Air a bunch of times. I've only been to Monroe once, and they have like a lot of stuff happen, just in one night. Because like when we first went to Bel Air, at least when I first went to Bel Air, we went for a full weekend, and Friday night that we were there wasn't really a whole lot going on. But Saturdays, like when shit went crazy. So for like just going for one night to Monroe, Monroe was really cool.
Is it?
Nice.
They're saying it's in better condition.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah, apparently the vibe in Monroe is actually worse than Bel Air. That makes sense, even though I've never been either. So
who is that? Jen talking again? I don't know.
Yeah, it's Jen. It was. I know she mentioned it too, but Monroe had a very heavy feel to it. There was a lot of. You would get heavy. It would get cold at times. You could definitely tell differences in vibes off and on all night long in that place. Yes, I was very nauseous too. I actually, when we all started in the kitchen, I had a point where I almost left. I almost felt like I was going to pass out. My best way of describing it was like the Black Widow at Kennywood. When you're going at the bottom of it, the G forces pull you down, and it just makes you feel like you're turning into one of those melted snowman little displays, It's just like you have no bones and you're just like sludge. That was the feeling you got in Monroe House, and it got really intense. It was like something was just pulling you down.
Well, I know you were telling me in the kitchen whenever you felt like something was bothering you in the kitchen when you got there.
Yes, it was that same feeling. It was very intense.
That's crazy.
And I think it's ironic too, because Jen, the very first time I met Jen was when we went to the lunatic asylum, because a bunch of us went to the haunt there. It was some of the Scarehouse crew. And I remember going in there and having a heavy feeling there. And Jim had mentioned the same thing when we first met. And because me and her kind of clicked with each other, because we're both like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is intense. And you guys were looking at us because we were just both like, oh my God, you feel it too. Oh no. And we were both like, wow. So we clicked really good that time.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
so it's kind of cool that we both kind of felt that at the Monroe house too. So
yeah. Now, would you also say with our most recent investigation at the Pickle Jar, was it pretty on the level with the Monroe house?
Pickle Jar was totally different.
Yeah.
Pickle Jar, I don't know how much you want me to give away because I don't know how much
whatever, don't matter.
So Pickle Jar, Pickle Jar was, I first of all, I didn't get any. I know you guys had you Phil,
Yeah.
you and Mikey had your experience. Sean and I went in the other building. I never felt any vibes. I didn't get any kind of.
Yeah.
I didn't get nothing. We both were we were getting more into like the architecture and, oh wow, this is cool woodwork, and we were kind of doing that. So we weren't getting a whole lot.
We got a little in the speakeasy, but
yeah, a little, but it was not
intense.
It wasn't real responsive. I felt like we got a lot more responses when we started doing the card game and we did the table thing. I think that's cool. Where it came into play. Yeah, the table was really neat. The thing I hate about the table is it didn't convey very well on like the live streams or anything. So it was something that I hate it when it's something we all experience, but we can't share it. It's like when you have those feelings, you want to share it with everyone. You're like, oh my God, this is happening. And then you can't show it. And it's so frustrating.
Yeah, it's just like in the environment. Like I was getting chills in that when it was going on and stuff like that,
Yeah.
Yes. That part was really cool. But when we did the channeling session there again, Ghost Box again. See, me and Mikey. So it was with Mike. It worked very well with you, Sean. We got a lot of stuff. But with Mikey, Mikey was talking faster and we could ask questions. It got to a point as you guys were there. We just stopped kind of asking questions and things were just coming through. So it felt very much like very much like a residual type thing that was coming through. The theory is that the third floor is a brothel or was a brothel at one time.
Right.
It was really cool. There's like 10 rooms with numbers on it. It was pretty impressive. I loved that room. It was really cool. But the Ghost Box started having stuff come through that started getting very explicit. It started getting very X-rated, very detailed. Mikey was mentioning there was women screaming coming through. There was moaning. There was it just got really, really, really gross. It was very off-putting. It was very disturbing. And for me, I could almost feel the women and the fear in those women and the pain that they were feeling. And that's where I started to tear up. But I don't think I've ever heard anything that disturbing before.
It was actually probably one of the more graphic channeling sessions I think I've ever heard doing this.
Well, it kind of reminded me when we were at Dead Man's Hollow that time, Phil, and we were with Mary. Mary Conti or whatever, because we kept getting a lot of vulgarity like directed towards her.
Oh yeah, and that was the one night that the piece of equipment actually fell off the little cement block that it was stationed on in the tunnel. It
was wedged in a rock and like twisted and like fell off of the thing. Like it wasn't natural the way it happened.
Wow.
It was amazing. It was just like, okay. I mean, nothing bad like happened, just to actually see
Yeah.
that, it was. And this was a little kind of related to the whole pickle jar place with the basement. I don't know if this is coincidental, but ever since we came back, I've had like the worst like sore throat.
Really?
Oh yeah, it hurts like it doesn't like hurt like hell. It's just it's red in there. I don't know if it's just because of it was a very dirty
It's all that
basement.
mold growing in your lungs now.
Oh, dude, don't even get
I was having a headache when we were there too.
Do we have insurance, guys? Do we have insurance?
Yeah, right. And that's the thing too. It's like not every place we're going to go to is clean, so to speak.
I don't know if you know about that or not, Troy. What she's talking about, Jen's talking about.
No, I can't see the whole thing.
I didn't like the spirit saying rape you at Hillview in Eli's room.
Yeah, this was crazy. This was very. I mean, this was just to imagine the rape being described, and it was like multiple guys, and it was just
it was like sodomy.
It
basically.
was clear it was multiple guys, and there was guys on there. Mikey was coming through with like one more minute, and I'm next, and I mean it was just
yeah, and the look of like sheer like distress in your eyes, Troy, was like
it was just I just the tears were. That's why I walked away right as I had to.
Well, that thing with the Eli's room with the rapey thing, which she's talking about, is it was me, Phil, my buddy Crack, and Jen. We were at Hillview, and Jen, thought that she felt somebody touching her or whatever, and also the room dropped like 7 or 8 degrees. And then on an EVP I have, it says rape you on it, like while that was going on. Yeah. So that's kind of weird.
God damn.
You got attacked a little bit at Monroe House too there, Jen. They liked you there.
Oh man. Gosh. I think I get attacked half the time because of my damn bowel issues. I'm like, we're gonna scare the shit out of you, literally.
Yeah, it's because you're so cute. They want you.
Stop. Oh man. Well, if I can handle what happened recently, just I'm happy I had that on recording too, man. But yeah, that whole channeling session was intense too. And see, I don't do them that much only because I always think I'm not saying exactly what I'm hearing.
Have you done it actually?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I did it at the. Did I do it at the Madison Seminary? You put me in the one stairwell, and it was the scariest place. That even some of the.
Oh, you're talking about Hillview, I think.
Or Hillview,
Hillview, not Madison. Yeah.
I
had Crack do that first, and I didn't tell him anything about it. I was just like, "Yeah, go down there."
Oh, you threw him in the stairwell.
No, that was me. That was not Crack. That was me.
No, Crack did too. He went to the bottom of the steps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was talking to you about it. I was like, he doesn't know, like this is supposed to be like a portal or something.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I also did it at a Dead Man's Hollow, and it wasn't as great as I wanted it to be.
See, I did it. I did it at Crescent the first time. After Jen did it, I did it with the with the Barb and the Ohio team.
Yeah,
I did it with them. Yeah, and I didn't get a whole lot. But then, and when I stopped, I was like, well, that was a waste. I didn't get anything. And then they're like, oh, no. All these answers came about. It was all this and this. All that added up. And I was like, really? Because, I mean, it was just the stuff I was saying just didn't make any sense to me. But
I think for me, like, personally, like, I don't know. I got to have, like, complete silence. I got to be by myself. Like, I don't know. You basically got to meditate and, like, try to put yourself under. Yeah. So if I have like when we were at Monroe and everybody was in the room, like I couldn't concentrate at all.
Mm-hmm.
And even at Pickle Jar just now because like me and Mikey both were talking about it, but I didn't really say anything. But if you look at the video, you'll see me like taking the blindfold off and I keep looking around.
Yeah.
I swore somebody was walking around in the room with me.
Well, we kept hearing stuff fall. There was actually like a plaster that fell and stuff while you were in there.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that, but
no, I don't.
There was like really loud bangs going on in that room, and that's why that one, the one worker there went down and checked on you because we kept hearing stuff. We're like, "What was that? What just fell?" So
well, that's like I thought somebody was with me because you could feel the room like actually moving, like if somebody's walking by you.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then like I said, I didn't say anything about it. And Mikey said something about it when he was doing it. And I was like, I kept having the same thing happen to me. I thought it was like an employee doing that. That's why I didn't say anything. Like I was kind of getting mad actually. Like
only that one time was there someone that came down.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
we were all freezing our asses off on the road.
That roof was really cool too. That was really
That
cool.
ladder was insane. I can't believe I did it.
I was proud of you, man. I was like, look at Troy go.
I don't got the balance for that.
I'll tell you, I was nervous. I was waiting for that ladder to slide.
Yeah, Mikey just said that he felt like people were running up on him as well, and he felt something brush his neck and his arm.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember, but I kept telling the spirit or whatever. I was like, oh, touch Mikey on the back of the head, or touch his knee, or touch this. And
yeah.
So
well, not only that,
Mikey.
you guys also did that. You guys were like, after Karma mentioned they needed more energy, you guys were pumping it into the air, and that, I think that helped out a lot, because if you notice, it was after that moment that we started getting a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like during the card game table tipping, and then we did the channel, and after that too. So
that table thing was probably one of the coolest things I've ever witnessed. I mean, you could just like really.
We'll have to do that again.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
It was really cool.
Mike was like, Sean, you didn't tell me that.
About running up on me or whatever, like the room moving. I said something. I thought.
I know.
I mean, I know what you guys.
Whenever we were telling Mikey, or whenever you were telling like whoever during the channeling session.
Oh, about them touching him and stuff.
Yeah.
Is that what he's talking about? Okay.
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, that table thing was
Mikey liked
really,
it.
really cool. Yeah. It's like,
Yes.
ooh, oh yeah.
So, Troy, do you watch any ghost shows?
Yes and no. So I was a faithful Ghost Hunters show for a long time. I love the original. I still like them today. I like the ones today, but the originals, I felt a little more. I was more in tune to those.
Okay.
I like them. I feel like they're the most true out there. I like the shows where they have their personalities and they have their fun, but there's also that serious side to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like there's so many out there that get away from it. They've gotten so much into the show part of it that it takes away from the truth of it. So it makes skepticism even bigger than what it would be without those, if that makes sense. So I have that kind of but I really like the original Ghost Hunters. And I still think they're very true. I like their passion in the beginning a lot. And they had some really good evidence pieces. I can still remember when they went to the lighthouse in Florida and they had the shadow that kept looking down at them. It was one of I think it was like the second or third season, maybe.
I think I remember.
That one was really freaking awesome episode.
Yeah.
And I remember they also had a shadow in one of the prisons that came up by them and actually, like, I think it hit the camera person, but you could see the shadow dart across. Those two really stick in my head. I am not as much of a fan of we don't say their name.
It's all hate on. I know, that's Jen's favorite too. I always like them.
They're entertaining. I mean,
so again, the very beginning I liked, but it's too commercialized now.
They definitely get the most hate out of any show.
And to be honest, I'm just not a fan of the new one. I'm just not a fan of it. Yeah, I do like Destination Fear. I think they're pretty good at it. And of course, Kindred Spirits. They're part of the old Ghost Hunter crew, so shout out to them. They're pretty great too. Yes, she's talking about Paranormal Lockdown and Nick Ruff. Yes,
that's a good show.
Nick, I do think, I think I like the shows where they do have a sense, and if something's debunked, they're not afraid to say, oh, this is debunked, and that. So yeah.
Lamp.
I love Lamp.
Have you seen?
I'm like lamp, lava lamp.
That's from Anchorman, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Oh,
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen it. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's not so bad. Have you,
everybody's always picking on my boy Zach Bagans. I like Zach Bagans.
Ghost Brothers. I've only seen a couple episodes of Ghost Brothers.
Ghost Brothers
I
is
really
awesome.
like them. I'll tell you a show that I really liked was I don't know if you guys remember this, and I mean it wasn't really a ghost hunting show, but there was it was like a reality show where everybody went out and they had to try and be the one that stayed the longest.
Oh, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
And they would go to all these haunted places, and they basically freaked them out.
Yeah.
I do remember that show. That was pretty
Is that
cool.
Celebrity Paranormal? No. That was not Celebrity Paranormal. I don't think it was. But I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. It was actually pretty. It was pretty fun to watch that. And then there was another one where they would have to. It was almost like they were in a haunted house, and they had to do different things, and they'd have to go through. Like they'd have to go into tunnels. They would have to like go through rats and different things. Almost like a Fear Factor, but with more.
Was that MTV Fear that somebody was talking about earlier?
It might be. Yeah, it might be. But those were some cool reality shows that I watched that were pretty cool.
Oh heck yeah!
Yeah.
Have you seen Portals to Hell with Jack Osborne and Katrina?
I have only watched the Monroe House, or no, the Hillview Manor one. That is the only one I've watched, and it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I actually watched that after we went there for the psychic fair.
Okay.
So I learned more about the place afterwards. So it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, I used to think Jack Osborne was really just annoying, but now I actually have a lot more respect for him because I didn't realize he was into the paranormal ever since he was a kid. And he's also a sheriff where he lives at, which is really cool.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's it's like, wow, go you, man. You know?
Yeah.
That show he does with his family too is funny with Ozzy and Sharon.
Oh yeah. Ozzy,
he shows them like videos and like, is it real or is it fake? And like Ozzy and Sharon comment on it.
I like that one, but some of those videos I like. What's the other one? Caught on Camera.
Yeah, Paranormal Caught on Camera. All them videos are from that. Yeah.
I just can't buy into those. I'm sorry. There's a few, but it's like many between the few.
Yeah.
That just they just aren't. Yeah.
There was a show that I was watching yesterday,
that one,
which I can't remember what it's called. I've actually been trying to Google it or whatever. And they had like this full apparition, and it's with Ben Hansen, and it takes place in Louisiana. I'm trying to find it. I don't know if I can find the video or not.
I know that one.
But it was really cool. Like it looked like legit, like probably one of the best like videos I've ever seen. Ghosts of Morgan City is what it's called. I just found it.
Is that the one where they go through the whole town?
Yeah, like the first season was that Shepherdstown or whatever.
Yeah. Okay, I saw the Shepherdstown, but that's the only one I saw.
But yeah, the Ghosts of Morgan City. Trying to see if I can find the episode.
There's one on there's one where I saw recently. I watched like one episode. Like I said, I'm not consistent right now.
Yeah.
But it was a ghost town that they were going through. Someone had bought the ghost town, and they were doing investigations in different parts of the ghost town.
Okay.
I don't know if that's the same one.
Mikey made a comment saying that the folks from Destination Fear get too terrified too easy, which I agree because even we can all agree, even the episode of at the Hillview Manor, which they were saying it was one of the worst places they've ever been to. I'm like,
let's be honest. There's shows that you watch because they have cool evidence, and there's shows you watch for the laugh factor and the comedy side of it.
That's exactly right. Yeah, I mean,
I'll tell you one that I used to love, and I don't remember the name of it. I'm so bad with names, but there was a UK show.
Yeah,
it was very early, and it had these two ladies and two guys on it, and they would scream at everything. It was insane, craziest. Like you would hear a scuff, and you knew it was like somebody's foot.
Yeah,
and like they all screamed to the top of their lungs and ran, and it was just, yeah, it was.
Oh.
But I had to watch it because it was one of those you just had to watch to see it. Like, how crazy is that?
Yeah, and Christ, in the freaking basement of Pickle Jar, we saw somebody get thrown or pushed, and we're not running for our lives. We're just like, holy fuck, okay, this actually happened.
Yeah, we weren't down there when that happened. Me and Troy.
No.
It wasn't necessarily the outcome of it. It was more the the reaction that was loud enough for me to be like, huh?
Don't you have the recording on your phone, don't you?
I actually have it. I recorded it on my camcorder. I didn't get the actual action of her getting grabbed / pushed. I don't know which one it was, but I do have the recording of her actually on the ground and Mikey's reaction to the thing happening, because it was very, very fast.
So it's on your phone or your camera?
My camera, and I actually have the actual photo in like a little folder. I have. I only recorded like 5.
I know you played it for us. That I was about to say you should play it right now if you have it. But
yeah, because you played it when we were on live.
Yeah, how do I do that on here?
Well, I was trying to find that clip I was talking about. I think it's the episode Ghost Girl from that show I was just talking about.
Yeah.
But I don't know. This is the second week doing this. I don't know how the hell you pull a clip up. But look at Ghosts of Morgan City.
Yeah,
I think it's the Ghost Girl episode, and they get this apparition that looks.
See, Mikey did his homework, man. He had the whole like video slots and all kinds of stuff.
Actually, wait. I'm looking at the share icon on this thing, and it says share, and then it says video file. I wonder if that'll work.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, if you have it.
Yeah,
don't be sharing the wrong video file there, Phil.
All right, let's see if
we know you're into some weird shit, Phil.
Yeah, right. Okay, let's see if I can put it to
location. Holy shit! You all right? Are you okay? Are you okay?
Yeah.
What happened?
He felt pretty hard too.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that was insane.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Too. Are you all right?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, that was pretty insane.
Wild.
Oh yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that was crazy. Woo! Still gives me chills even watching that, but we persevered. I think I was like, maybe we should probably relocate. And then
I didn't actually see the video. I heard the audio when you.
Yeah,
when
we
you
just
played
saw
it.
the audio. Definitely, we go back. We have to stay on that one side because that one building had all of it.
Mm-hmm.
That other side was pretty. Yeah.
That's where I was trying to do the channeling from the basement, but there was no reception down there.
Yeah.
They had
Which
that
is
weird
ironic. Which is
door down there,
ironic
too.
because we had the reception later on when we went down there.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
So that was kind of strange too.
Oh man, we got to go there again because I do want to check out that speakeasy again. That room is probably one of my favorite rooms, like ever. Because the place is so big.
Yeah.
Well, we got to get Troy to Hillview because we got to Hillview all the time.
Yes, Troy, you will.
Yeah, I want to try. I'm up for a Hillview.
Yes.
I'm up for Hillview.
Like, yeah.
I like getting excited that you guys keep bringing up all these different places. I'm like, yeah, that sounds cool. That's I'm good. I'm like the little puppy dog. I'll go wherever you want me to go.
Yeah, we've been to like 9 locations, I think, last year alone. Right, Sean? Something like that.
I don't know the number.
I'm trying to keep track of everything. It's very tiresome. But somebody
I only know the trips that are coming up, not the ones that have passed.
It's all right. It's all right.
Jen's talking about when April fell at Tin Lizzie.
We love you, April.
I don't think that was paranormal though. That was just
April would not have liked this last place. There's so many stairs. Everywhere you go, it's stairs.
And it's so
April.
crowded too, like walking.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, but that was kind of cool though. All the stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I do need to go back and shop.
Yeah, I want to go when it's actually open for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they're supposed to have their grand opening in September, I think, is what he was saying.
Yeah, that's what they
there
were
we go.
saying.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Have to go shop. And
Yeah,
it was cool. It was cool the fact that I used to act there. So that was kind of neat. It was a place I'd been to before in another life, kind of. in another stage.
And Sean used to rap there too, so that's really cool.
Yes, yeah. So we all had a little bit of a past there. See,
Yeah.
Not me.
Seems kind of
Damn.
common. Like we all have connections with everything. It seems like.
yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Yeah, it's I don't think I've ever actually had any connections prior to doing all these locations like at all. I mean, well, Bushy Run Battlefield, we were there for that little video we did, and I was there years ago whenever I was a part of Oakmont Paranormal with
We
Emily.
need a new photo shoot, especially since we have a new team member.
Yep, that's right. Heck yeah, man. When should we have this? Probably we could even have it at Slippery Rock Place. I mean, kind of
Yeah, I don't know. I want to get the picture done before we're supposed to go see Marcus again, at Greenville. And he was saying something about putting the picture on the wall, but we got to get one done. So hopefully we can get it done before then. Probably, all 7 of us. And I actually want to get some pics with Bumpy in there too, like 7 of us plus Bumpy.
Heck yeah. We get
Some
photo
solo
shots.
shots and all that. Maybe some guy shots, some girl shots, some shit like that too,
Oh yeah.
Some guy on guy.
I'm gonna
The Pickle Boys ride again.
There you go. Oh my, that's going to be embedded. Boys.
Apparently, Troy, you were being a badass, telling off one of the spirits upstairs.
We were. I got a little bit of gin spunk, and
hey,
yeah.
Tony, you're not the first person to say that. Robbie always talks about that too.
Yeah,
all the pictures we take, he wants us to put out a bump calendar.
that'd be sick.
That would be
That'd be
cool.
good.
That's actually a good idea.
Heck yeah, man.
Get Bumpy at all the different locations.
I'm gonna totally do a Basic Instinct movie clip with me wearing the bump hat or the bump skull and do the whole lake crossing scene.
Well, you've had Bumpy in the tub
my
a couple
goodness.
times already.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And Troy, you were fantastic as Bumpy.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You were welcome. That was
I
fantastic.
had fun doing it. It's
It
kind of
is
odd
fun.
in that mask, but I kind of
A little bit.
doing it.
It's a good time. Oh,
Yeah.
since we have 2 Bumpy costumes, Sean.
Oh, Bumpy Brothers.
Yes.
I gotta find. I don't even know where the other one is. Yeah, there goes Bumpy.
Oh.
Bumpy Only fans. We've talked about that.
Bumpy only fans. Yeah, I think that one will be all you, Phil.
Well, I am technically the token single guy out of the whole group of us. So
There you go. See,
yeah, I'm the token single.
We need to get you with a spirit, Phil.
Oh, dude, that'd be the weirdest thing, doing it with a spirit. I'm like, what? Oh,
well, you're single, so you're the sacrifice. So
yeah.
you got to remember that.
Oh hell! Damn you both.
Well, Troy, why don't you tell people what Phil said outside of the Wooden India, that old guy?
Oh my god, that was the funniest moment ever.
Oh my
The fact
god!
that Troy was actually like, "What the hell?" Please say it.
God,
Please
what
say
did you say? I can't remember.
No, basically,
About the wet
was
dreams.
so bad.
yeah. This is actually what happened. Like we were exiting the restaurant, and this old guy with his wife. Well, the old guy was like looking at Troy's shirt with like a big smile. I was like, "What's Bump in the Night Society?" Oh, it's a paranormal team, and we were telling him that we were investigating the pickle jar in Rochester. And I told him, yeah, it's basically like a hoarder's wet dream. And then the guy was like, I think all things are good wet dreams. That's the way to go, or something like
Yes.
that.
And this guy was like when we say old, we're like
70s.
mid to upper 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like, really? I was mortified. My eyes got real big, my mouth dropped, and I'm like, oh my God, Phil, you did not just say that.
Yeah,
And
you
the
told
guy
me right when I
smiled.
came out, and I was like, I'm not surprised.
And the guy laughed and he
Yes.
smiled, and it was a defining moment. And I kind of knew that I was able to joke around with the dude because he just
His
laughed.
wife did not turn around though, and she just kept watching.
She did not.
She was not
So
amused with you, Phil.
I don't think so.
so they're gonna probably
Thank
have
you,
a long
Tony.
talk.
It's my rainbow shirt. It's
Yes.
for my pride. It's for my pride honorary. So
Heck yeah, man. Oh,
Yes.
we can do a clip where we pretend to clone Bumpy.
Yeah, I gotta find the other Bumpy
Ooh.
costume. I don't know where the other one is because we do have 2. I've been
Yeah.
using the new one because I don't know where the old one went.
Nothing was better than the old woman with Phil at Tin Lizzie.
Does Troy know that story?
No, he
I
does
do
not.
not.
need
Sean,
to
you
tell
want
us.
to? Sean, how much can you remember of that one?
Well, we were all at Tin Lizzie like beforehand. We're eating dinner, And because we were doing the investigation later at night, there's these two drunk older women. Well, I don't know, 50s maybe I'd say.
I'd say 50s, yeah.
And they all went over next to Phil and were like rubbing his head and like just like flirting with him and everything. And actually one of the husbands came in the room at one point and like I thought he was gonna like try fighting Phil.
Oh wow.
But they were definitely like trying to get Phil to come home with them. Then he gave the phone number to the waitress too. Like I said, Phil's a slut.
And the waitress was hot, too.
The stories I could tell about Phil, but I will keep that.
Tell it all, Troy. Tell it all.
Oh, I could.
That waitress was hot though. She was a hottie. She was really hot.
See, my problem is I've been Phil's wingman many a time. So.
Yeah, tell him about the concert to see Orgy at the Rex Theater. Tell them about that. That is fantastic.
You went to an orgy?
Which part?
You went to an orgy?
Oh no, it was who was it? It was Orgy and
The Jenna Torturers, they were there.
Gabrielle Iglesias, Venus and Furs, and oh shoot, who were the closer?
Orgy was the closer. I know that.
No.
You sure?
No. It was oh my gosh. The girls. It was the
shit. I know exactly who you're talking about too.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's who we went to go see.
Yeah. Gabrielle and the Apocalypse.
Lord of Acid.
Yes. Thank you.
Lord of Acid. Yes.
Oh.
Well, what was bad is there was like what, 6 or 8 bands. So we got there early and we were all excited. We all got pretty intoxicated.
Oh yeah.
And by the time that Lord of Acid came out, we were all like dead zombies, and we ended up leaving early. Not because the band was bad, but because we just couldn't take anymore. We were like so dead.
It was a very fun night.
Fun times.
Tell them what else happened at that show. The two sisters or best friends they called each other.
Do you really want me to tell that story?
Yes, we do.
I mean, you could say parts of it if you'd like.
Well, I did get Phil connected to some girl, and she had a sister, and
they were not actually blood related. They were best friends.
See, I didn't even know that. I thought they were blood related, which was weird. But yeah,
it was. Started hanging out with the one girl,
and they were partying really hard.
I think the one girl was actually on acid. Yeah.
Yes.
And it was a month of fun, and why the hell am I doing this?
Because I connected you to it.
Yeah, you did. And
but,
hey, what can you do? It was fun while it lasted.
My excitement lives in Phil's excitement.
Tony was like, "Damn you, Troy! I can be Phil's wingman."
Oh, hey, I've done some good. I've had some good wingmans. That have happened too. Usually concerts.
Oh, absolutely.
Usually drunk Troy just walks up to random people, and of course there was the bad one at the Korn concert. Which
that's okay.
Yeah,
shit happens. Now, and there was also the one where we had the party bus. And that was whenever we went to go see.
I don't remember much of the party.
Dude, oh my God.
I don't think I've ever seen you drunk, Troy.
He's fun. Troy's an extremely outgoing guy.
I will talk to anyone, everyone, and I'm just be happy drunk. Yes.
Yeah. I think the one during the party bus, we were all ready to go, and I had to find Troy, and I kept seeing him trying to talk with everybody. I'm like, all right, man, we gotta go.
Well, we all kept losing each other, but there was like 14 of us on the party bus.
There was a lot. And I think one of us.
I don't remember going in the gate to the concert, and I think it was Korn. I don't remember who was even playing. And we all found each other, and I lost you guys. And
it was Rob Zombie, and it was White, and it was Marilyn Manson. I remember that because we were with
the one that got rained out.
No,
it
it was
wasn't them, 'cause I remember
another
them.
show. It was because I think we ran into Dutters and Melissa, I believe.
We did run into Dutters and Melissa,
Yes.
but was that the same one? Yeah, that was the same
Yes.
one. Okay,
Yes.
so yeah, and I ended up with Kayla and her dad because I
Yep.
lost everybody and I found them and I connected with them. And then I lost them and then I found you guys again.
Because I remember what kind of shirt I was wearing that day too.
And
Yeah.
at some point in time, Carlos was laying on the ground, passed out. Because I literally tripped over him, and that's how I found him. He was like way up in the back, away from everybody. It was just a really, really intense night. It was crazy.
That was great though.
We had so much fun.
And Tony just said, "Well, we'll say Phil and I got some looks last time we hung out. Probably all Phil. I don't know. I'm the most dense
I
guy.
can believe that. I can believe that.
I don't know. I'm just me being me. We had a fun night.
Jen, those are good concerts. That's bad. It's concerts. I have fun when I get buzzed, but then I miss the concert and then I'm like sad. So my coworker Carlos, he's now in North Carolina, but yeah, he would go to the concerts with us, and it was great because I would get intoxicated, and of course, I always call Sean, and I'm like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, and I'm all lovey-dovey. The only time I do it, so he knows I'm drunk. And then Carlos would end up taking my phone, and he would take pictures of the concert, so that I would actually have pictures of the concert after I got home the next day. So I don't have that anymore. So now I got to stay sober. So I got pictures and videos.
Well, luckily if Jen's there,
love
she'll
it.
just live stream the whole thing. She live streams everything. So
Oh,
There we
yeah.
go. There we go.
Very true.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Live streaming I want to be able to edit what you see. I'm pretty free and I don't mind, but yeah, I don't want to be that.
Oh, hey, we have this coming Saturday at the Slippery Rock campground, so that'll be a fun day.
Yes, I am looking forward to it. It's going to be fun.
I love it. Have you been up there, Troy?
I have not. I've never been up there, so
it's awesome.
I'm
And
excited to go up.
Yeah, their camp is awesome.
I've talked to Sean a little bit. Me and Sean have pondered actually looking at some places up there.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. We go back and forth, but with with the inflation and the gas prices and all that fun stuff,
Thanks, Troy or Tony. He said, "I love you all. Congrats, Troy."
we all need to get drunk
Thank
up
you.
camp and make some ghost videos.
Oh,
Yes.
we should totally do it, man. That'll be fantastic.
I think we're gonna have the whole team there too. Like I'm pretty sure everybody's coming.
This coming Saturday, really?
I know
pretty
April's
sure.
planning on coming.
Mm.
I know Hannah commented in the chat about bringing something, so I'm pretty sure her and Mikey are coming too.
That'd be awesome.
Nice.
Heck yeah,
That'll be good. It'll be a fun night.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm so pumped. I think the last time we were there drinking, it was Sean, Crack, and myself, and I was sitting in the back drinking a Mike's Hard Lemonade, and we were just driving around, throwing empties out. Well, I didn't do that for it.
Well, we had I think it was last year, right around now, because it showed up in my memories. It was like me and Jen and my brother and our one friend Gina, and Crack was there too. And we were all drinking in that. We went out in the golf cart and we're driving up on, where the hill is in that hill. We go up on top of the hill.
Yep, yeah.
And security came after us and they were like, "Oh, you're a bunch of adults." They thought we were kids because we were blaring music and dancing and shit.
That's
Called the
hilarious.
fuzz on us.
Yeah. Oh, it's so cool, man. It's so fun going up there. I love it.
That just reminded me of a story. So I was probably 22 and I had 2 or 3 roommates and we all got water guns. We got the big water guns, but we were in our
Super Soaker or
apartment
something.
complex and we were trying to, we were playing water gun wars. And me and my one roommate, we ran across this one area and it ended up being there was a pond there. And it was we ended up going through this big mud, really bad, nasty area. And the cops show up and the cops are spotlighting us. We're trying to get out of this mud and they're looking at us. So someone in the complex had called us in because there were people with guns in the apartment complex.
Oh, shit.
We had cops everywhere. They were
Oh, my God.
it was so embarrassing, but it was so funny. It just, you talked about security and stuff, and that just popped in my head. Oh my God, that was so long ago. That was, that was fun. We were being immature. The young days.
Well, I'm sure you
man.
could tell, Troy. We all like to have fun or whatever.
Oh
We
yeah,
don't take
we're-
everything
Yes.
too seriously.
you can't. You really can't. It gets boring if you're
No.
too serious about stuff.
Yeah,
know,
completely
it's-
agree.
I mean, hell, all of us are in our 30s, but between the ages of like 30s and 40s, so it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Yeah, after a while, you get to a certain age and you're just like, oh, F it.
Oh yeah, my dad. He's a prime example of somebody who's still trying to party like he's in college. He's like 57, I think, and he still tries to drink like he's in his college days. And I'm like, dude, I don't know how you do it, man. I'd die. I would die.
I think I finally have, like, not just drinking, but I think I've slowed down a little bit in the last year or two.
Yeah.
As
Yeah,
the
my-
big, 5-0 approaches,
Oh, Troy, the big 5-0s.
but then I have my mom who's like, you don't act like your age. You need to act like a normal human being. You need to act like an adult.
It's such a subjective thing anymore.
Yeah.
It's all based on like the visual the person who's actually observing you. It's
Yeah.
just-
I'm responsible. I'm not like crazy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, you do very well, so
Still gotta have fun.
Yeah,
heck
for
yeah,
sure.
man. Shit. Some
Still
of the
gotta have
craziest
fun.
people. Some of the craziest people I've ever met are the craziest, or the most like normal, well-established people.
You're right.
Hell yeah! Of course I'm right,
So what's some
motherfucker.
more of your interests, Troy?
More of my interests. Well, when I moved here to Pittsburgh, I got to know a lot of the performing arts crowd here, a lot of the performers, a lot of the venues, producers, different things. I love anything that's artistic. I love music. I love drum corps. Drum corps is so freaking awesome. If you know drum corps, I love it. Yay, I'm a fan. Go Cadets. I love Cadets. So that's definitely something I love. So the arts was something I like. Me, I am so non-artistic. It is ridiculous. So, one way I had to get back is I have gotten into producing some shows. I've done a few of them here in Pittsburgh. As I've gotten to know some of the performers, I've really enjoyed it. It's a way to get back and kind of say thank you for all that you do. So I started with, you guys know Boom Boom Bridget.
Other
There's a
Scare
Scare
alumni,
House. She's also
Yep.
a
Oh, yeah.
well-known burlesque performer here in the area. She is absolutely amazing. I love her hands down. But me and her started a podcast together. Thank you.
That is
Bring
awesome.
Boo. Turtle Tea. They are really nice shirts, and they have a lot of cool things.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I have a few of these you'll see from time to time. So Boom Boom's awesome. We started a podcast together. It's called Pittsburgh Stage Odyssey. We are kind of a bad podcast. We literally started out with a little microphone hooked to my phone that was hooked to the rearview mirror in the car, and we recorded together in the car. And you can tell it's very raw. But we had so much fun doing it. What we do is we interview performers of different backgrounds. So whether it's burlesque, drag, we had comedians, we had bands, you name it, it's been on there. And we kind of, according to our thing, we peel away the layers and kind of get to know that person a little bit better, both on and off the stage. So it's a great way for us to get to know the different performers, and by mixing it all up, you get different audiences. So each time we have an episode, you'll have a different, you'll have all the followers of a band, and they'll listen to the podcast, and they're like, hey, and they start listening to more. So they start getting interest in seeing different types of art that they may not look at otherwise.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to broaden that spectrum and kind of bring everything together. But Pittsburgh is a it's kind of a close community. I mean, all of Pittsburgh is Pittsburgh pride. So, it's kind of nice to bring all these different avenues together and blend them a little bit. So I really like that factor. There's some very funny episodes. There are some very tear-felt episodes where there is some tears shed. There's a lot of good stuff, and I really enjoyed it. Unfortunately, this past year we haven't had any new episodes. Boom Boom had some medical issues, so she kind of had to back out as being co-host. I do have the Mighty Quinn, who she's on our Facebook banner. She's gonna be my co-host. We haven't given up, and we hope to be coming back. We're probably gonna wait till next year and start the year off right, and come back with a vengeance. You also have to admit we had COVID and stuff going on during that time too. So when we're talking about sound, we had issues where we had to figure out how to do video, how to do conference call type things from home, and there'd be interference and back noise, and it just really fought with us the whole time. So we hope to come back. Quinn has a little more of a technical background, so I think she'll be a good addition for us. And like I was talking to you guys earlier, we're actually talking about bringing in something similar to this, where we have a videoing instead, which this seems to be working really great. And I like the live interaction with the questions and stuff. So it's definitely something we're going to look at as well. So I'm excited. So long story short, sorry, I got on a tangent.
You're good, man.
But last year we did a Christmas show. We did Holiday Escapades. I partnered with SNS Productions, which is a couple. They are both drag queens here in Pittsburgh, and they have built SNS Productions, which has grown tremendously just in this past year. I've watched their career take off, and wow, they're amazing. They are, they're all over the place. Their shows and they do bingo, they do brunches. You can go on Live Nation and see their stuff. They always have stuff every weekend. Very good shows. I highly recommend to go to one because you will not be disappointed. Awesome. So definitely. But we did a Christmas show that went really well. It was in where was I? I was in Elizabeth, PA, at the Starlight Lounge, I believe was the name of it. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name. But it was it's in Elizabeth, PA. It was a great show, great venue. It went really well. So we are planning on doing a second show there this year. We're hoping to make this Christmas show kind of an annual thing. It's nice to have something like that. We want to bring a higher caliber of a show. So I try to bring some of the top performers in. We try to do a show, they try to do a holiday theme of some sort, a high quality show. We had this past one, I had SNS Productions. I had Dixie Sherwood, who is a very well-known artist here in Pittsburgh. I also had Sarah Rose, a spoken word poetry. If you've ever have a chance to see her, please do so. She is absolutely amazing. She's by hands down, she's amazing. The Abyss from Scarehouse, she was one of my performers. And we had Vesper Lamar, which was a new burlesque performer who she really stole the show. She was absolutely wonderful and amazing. So
that's awesome.
You're gonna have to have it a different weekend because I think last year you had it right.
I know.
Jen had our anniversary, so
maybe we can bump it up a weekend. We'll see. We started out kind of late with getting it rolling last year. So this year, I think in August we're going to start collaborating. I've talked with SNS a little bit, and I think August we're going to start working on it. I'm excited because I've already had performers coming to me and asking me to perform. So it's kind of nice. Last year I was really reaching out, which I still want to reach out, but it's kind of nice to have people that want to be in your show. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing because I'm put in the type of show that performers want to be in, and that's my goal. And I want audiences to grow, and I want the audience to be amazed and excited. Elizabeth, it's nice because we're bringing in some people that won't normally go to a show like this. So it's nice to have that different crowd. And last year, the response was just amazing how well everybody really enjoyed it. So
what was the show at Blue Violet that you did?
Which one?
Blue Violet Cafe, Pickle Jar.
That was my theater days, which I haven't done since COVID. I haven't really done, but that was with our act Theater Rochester. They are still a group there. They're actually at the Sheriff Theater, and they have their first show after COVID is coming up next month.
Oh,
it's a collaboration of comedies, so it'll be pretty exciting. I know a lot of the cast members from our act that I know are going to be there, and I'm actually Sean and I are going to be doing concessions indoor for them one night. Okay. So I'm excited to go see them and go see the show. I think it'll be really good. They always put on a great time. The theater they have now, they actually bought. It's actually just a few doors down from the old theater where we were at Pickle Jar.
Okay.
It's brand new. They put it all together themselves. I'm really proud of them. They did a great job, and it's going to be a nice space for them for a long time.
That's awesome. That's really cool, man.
Yes.
Damn, look at you.
I know. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm a concert junkie. I like my rock.
What would you say is your most preferred genre of music that you would, above all, go to the most or listen to the most?
Definitely hard rock.
Yeah.
I'm not as much of a scream metal fan like you, but I do like my hard rock. I like the adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
I've always been a rocker. I mean, I was definitely a 90s grunge. Nothing's going to beat 90s grunge. Even today, I think I would still take my 90s grunge over today. But I was also definitely a hairband, 80s hairband rocker in high school. Yeah, I mean, I like other music. I like dance music. Not a fan of rap, but
boo.
sorry. Yeah, even country I don't know as well, but I'm not opposed to it. Every once in a while, I'll surprise someone and put a country song on.
Yeah,
so, I've got Phil into some rap since he's been around me now.
Tech Nine.
Tech Nine
was amazing. That was fan.
Let's put it this way. I like hip hop dance type rap.
Okay.
Like radio rap?
Yeah. I mean, I like the old days. I like Two Live Crew.
I've seen them live before, actually.
Yeah, Too Short was a good one. Yeah, I like some of that stuff.
That's cool, man. Now, since obviously working for Scarehouse and working in the paranormal, can you say that you're a horror movie fan since you do like art? And
I do like my horror movies.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. What are some of your favorites?
I have my Shudder account and I watch those crazy things. And Sean usually yells and complains, God, this is the most horrible movie forever. And it's the same thing as what we watched 2 nights ago. And yeah, he's not a fan. I am.
Yeah.
I love all the like B-rated horror and like 80s horror slashers and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm good with it. It can be cheesy. I don't care. I like it.
Yeah.
I would say I like some of the new stuff. I will say that more horror movies today are kind of typical and are not as original.
Right.
A lot of them, but there are some that have popped out that that are really good. That have been really different. Some of the ones, and they're probably not the most popular, but I really like them. Not so much the scare factor, but the originality of them. So Blair Witch, I absolutely fantastically loved the first time I saw it.
Loved it.
I actually watched it in a theater by myself, and I was the only person in the theater. It was like one of the last days they were there. It was there, and it was like at the end when it just dropped, I'm just like, I mean, I was just sitting in that theater like, holy shit. The fact that you didn't get the ending was like the whole cool part of it. I was a huge fan. I know that it was very hated, but I was actually a really huge fan. And of course, the whole real life action type movie. We're filming it kind of thing has been done like 50 million times. But that was the first time I was seeing something like that, and I thought it was so cool and so original.
I think that was the breakthrough for found footage horror film.
Yes, it was. That's what I was trying to say. The found footage, that I thought it was so amazing how it was like it was real. I loved that.
Well, yeah, so many people actually thought it was real. I remember they had the cast show up on Jay Leno to like prove that.
Well, they even had, and then they started the website too. There was the website for it.
Mm-hmm.
They had a Blair Witch website that was like made out like it was original too. So it was, it was pretty cool. I think it was like the promotion they did for it or something. Another one that really sticks to me that is also different was The Village.
That was, I don't think I saw that one actually.
M. Night Shyamalan or whatever. Never saw it.
Yes. That one was so original in that sense. Like, I mean, there was just so many odd things about it, and the monster was creepy. Through it until the end, until you figured out what was going on. When you did find out, it was just so there were so many twists and turns with it. So I mean, the scare factor in it, I don't know. It was more of the creepy factor, and then the whole ending was like, whoa. I mean, it was kind of cool. So I those two really stick out to me. As far as actually scare 13 Ghosts is a big one for me.
Oh, I love 13 Ghosts.
I really like 13 Ghosts.
That's a really good one.
I want to get all of them tattooed on my back as a back piece. So like around
that would be awesome.
Yeah,
that'd be sick.
And I still I don't remember who it was from Scarehouse that always said it would be awesome to have a series from each ghost as an episode. I think that would be the most awesome, amazing thing in the world.
On the DVD, like for the extras, they actually have like a little backstory to each one.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I would love though to see, like even a Netflix series.
That'd be cool.
Awesome.
Oh hell yeah!
I would love that. So I mean, there's definitely some good ones out there. I really appreciate them. I think my love for horror movies has evolved over time. So I look almost like a haunted house.
Right.
The longer you look at them, like. I go through a haunted house now and it's like, oh man, that is so cool. I love the way they did these walls. Oh my God, your costume's amazing. Your acting is so on point.
Yes.
It's not really the scare. And and amazingly, like I used to not be scared at all, but now as I'm getting older, for some reason, I jump more and I get scared more easily. Like they don't scare me, but they jump. They give my jump. Yeah. I don't know. The older I get, the more scared I am, I guess.
Yeah, I think the only time I've ever actually been scared in a haunted house was at Wells Township, which is in Ohio. And at the end of the haunted house, the one year, they put you in this like coffin thing. It was more like a pallet, but like this thing goes on top of you and you're laying on the ground. And the thing is, too, is they put you in with a stranger. So I'm in with some like random teenage kid. This was obviously pre-COVID. And so we're like locked in this thing and we're laying on our backs. And like, I couldn't even, like, if I had to get out, I couldn't get out. Like, I would try to push. I couldn't do anything. Like, that's what I was freaked out about. It was like, I was trapped in this thing. Like, I couldn't kick out if something would have happened. So we're sitting in there probably only like under a minute, but it seemed like a lot longer than that. And all of a sudden, like the thing dropped and you flip and you're standing up like into the floor.
Oh, wow.
Which was kind of cool. I think it was like supposed to be like a train was coming and like, I don't know, they had a little backstory, but it was more like the anticipation. It scared me. After it happened, like it was fine. And I was still smoking back then. Like I was just smoked cigarettes. So like as soon as I got out of there, I probably smoked like 3 cigarettes. I was shaking. Like Jack was with me and he saw it. Like I was freaking out.
Oh man.
But I can't I wouldn't say I'm claustrophobic. I think it's like, I can't be trapped. Like if somebody held me down and I couldn't get up or something, it's something like that. Probably some like childhood trauma or some shit. I don't fucking know.
I get it. Mine's heights. I am so scared of heights. But if I'm if I'm on a roller coaster or something like that, I'm fine because I'm strapped in.
Right.
But if I feel like I'm not like hooked or I used to be scared to death of the Ferris wheel. That was like the most scariest thing to me. Yeah. And I was just like, I'd be with someone that'd try rocking the seat and I would freaking go ballistic. yeah, I mean, I can ride them now.
What
But
about like a cable car or something, like the bar, like a ski lift or any of that type of stuff?
ski lift doesn't bother me.
Okay.
Sean freaked out on the ski lift when we went during our honeymoon in Tennessee. So we went to the Sky Bridge, and
Yeah,
of
me and
course you
Jen
have
have
to
been
go
there.
up the ski lift. You have to go up
Mhm.
the ski lift. He
Hmm.
freaked the whole time, and then he had to go back down.
Oh
Yes.
man.
So yeah, the ski lift was not his fan. So my thing, and the one thing I will never, ever, ever, you will never catch me on in my life, is those swings now that go way up in the air.
Oh, those are
Sky
Yeah,
fun.
swings.
They have them at
Those
Six
are
Flags
so
in New
fun.
Jersey. My
I
brother used to
just,
work
when
there.
those things started being built, I just looked at that and I was like, oh, hell to the no. That is the scariest thing to me. That to me,
I think
that
it's
right
relaxing.
there. Oh,
I think it is too. Actually,
I would be
yeah.
clenched as hard. No.
You got-
Yeah, I even like the little drop, the
Yep.
drop rides. I
Yeah.
can ride those. I will ride them, but I don't like them. And I didn't know. So even scary, the kid that fell recently,
Yeah.
but the one he was on actually tilts forward before they fall to where you're facing down. I didn't even know they did that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I couldn't do that.
Oh, geez. And you're gonna play.
Those sky swing things. Oh hell no.
Oh,
Never.
yeah. I have a hard time even getting on some rides now, like because there was a video weeks ago where people were stuck on the Aero 360 in Kennywood.
Oh yeah, that was recently.
I would be the biggest panic mode ever because
See,
obviously
even that, like, I mean, aside from being upside down, that wouldn't bother me so much. You're caged in that thing, so it's not like, I mean, even though you're stuck, you don't feel.
Yeah, I just
Mm.
envisioning like the latch, like coming undone. I'm like, and I'm not like a huge. I'm like
Yeah, but if,
170.
I mean, think about it. If you're sitting in that swing way up in the air and it stops, you're sitting up in that swing way up in the air.
That's a very true point there. That's a very good point. Good
Your
point
feet
there.
are dangling over the side. Your arms are dangling. No.
Oh man, that's actually you're gonna laugh at this, guys. Since we're talking about the scariest moments, I used to go to a camp with my family. It was a YMCA Christian camp outside of Somerset, and they would have all the age groups separated to do activities, anything from like kid stuff to young adult. And I think I was maybe like 15 or 16 at the time, and the staff members would organize what we call a graveyard walk because there was a small graveyard right across from the private lake that was surrounding the actual camp. So the one night we decided to go up to the actual graveyard and sit down and telling scary stories, and the actual staff members would try to scare us. Holy shit, they scared us to death. I thought it was real. And at the same time, there was a bear that caught loose, and
Oh my gosh.
yeah, and I think somebody was saying something on the walkie-talkie that there was a prisoner that escaped recently and made their way into the camp, and it was actually one of the staff members, and it freaked me out. I thought this was all legit. So we're all running down the damn road right past the horse stable, and
This was like 2 weeks ago. That
Yeah.
and one of the actual staff members actually were able to fit themselves into a body bag, and somebody happened to spot it on the side of the road, open it up, and they scared them. And oh my god, it was terrifying. But I was also, it was the last week. No, but yeah, that was really the only legit time I got actually terrified. And obviously besides going to the most recent place we were at, but yeah, that was my. And of course, I was dumb and young and very naive, and that was freaky. But then once we all were told, "Oh, this is all just fake," I was pissed off. I should have known though. My dad was even making fun of me. He's like, "Dude, really?" Yeah, I was like 15 or 16 or something like that. That was like over 20 years ago. But
we all love you, Phil.
wow. Yeah, it was fun. But now it's like the crazier the better. But I love it.
So going back to kind of with the kid falling out the ride or whatever,
Yes.
I know me and Jen, and I think even other members of us have talked about like if something's controversial, like I don't know if you guys remember the LA Fitness, which is right by us. They had that shooting and they killed all those people like 5-10 years ago. Like, do you think it's like disrespectful to investigate something like that because it's so recent, or I don't know.
I don't think it's disrespectful.
Mm.
No, I think if you're respectful with what you're doing, then I would say no.
Yeah.
Um, if it was like you're saying, the person with the ride, yeah, that was really recent. So
Yeah.
I would say though, and that's kind of I think somewhere where there's like what you were talking about, the second part was more of a mass shooting. I think that's interesting because I think that would actually be interesting as to whether you would get something or not. Because
Yeah.
I feel like you would, but then see, I have this theory. So, you know, yeah, that's a good question. I mean, yeah, I definitely no. It makes me think. I'm going in different directions. I'm like, so those spirits, they were shot. Well, in their minds, if they were thinking about their families and such, did they stay there? Are they spirits that are in that gym, or would they have maybe went to somewhere else that they were happier in their lives?
Yeah.
But it was a sudden death, so it wasn't like they died of natural causes. So,
Well, see, that's because like a lot of locations,
that paranormal has it. Period. Those are kind of some of the questions I would have.
Yeah.
like a lot of the locations that we go to are usually, these deaths happened 100 years ago or something, and
Right.
none of the family members are still around or nothing like that. But I mean, I know even going to Trans-Allegheny, the bedpost murder room, like that happened in the 80s, and I know the one guy that
Yes.
murdered him is actually still alive.
Yes.
And he's actually at the other mental hospital that's right above the hill in West Virginia.
Yes.
So that's why I was like kind of curious, because that's still, those people are still alive. Like where do you draw the line, I guess, is
Yeah. Everybody has a limit, It's like I was even telling you, Troy, like whenever you were having that moment at the pickle jar, it's like I go by the philosophy it's good to test your limits, but also if you don't feel something is right, then there's no shame in stepping back a little bit, because we're all human and we're not all invincible too. It's there's some like I was even telling Sean and Mikey about this the last time whenever we were doing mics. Like I'm not. I'll be rightfully honest. I'm not as tough as they are. I'm a little more, just because I have a much more sensitive side to me, if that makes any sense, And I do want to kind of come out of my comfort zone a little bit, but even then, it's like, there's certain things I won't do. Like I am not a big fan of, and Sean knows this. I like what they look like, and I don't mind watching them. But Ouija boards, I'm not a huge fan of those.
Yeah, we did that in Monroe.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that too. It's just like,
we did that twice.
What made you guys want to do that?
We honestly didn't have. Well, they were just laying around everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's like, hey, it didn't. I mean, we didn't have much luck with it.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical of a Ouija board.
Yeah, for sure.
I
think with the whole Ouija board thing, but you go ahead, Troy.
Well, no, I was just gonna say I don't know, and part of it could be, if you. I think somebody said this earlier. I think you did, Sean, where you said if you believe it, then it kind of becomes more of a reality. And
that's kind of what I was getting at. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that's true. I have played with the Ouija board where it has worked.
Yeah.
And it was pretty scary, but that's the only time I've had it happen, and it's I don't know, and that circumstance was a very weird time. It was when I was really young again.
Yeah.
But it basically was kind of like we all were saying it, like people had things in their head and it was like answering what was in our heads.
Mm-hmm.
So it was almost like we were doing it, but yet we weren't. It was just a weird experience.
Yeah.
But I overall I'm not a huge, I don't know. I believe there are spirits. I believe there's the energies. I believe there's residual energy. I'm more skeptical when it comes to like haunted objects and haunted things. I believe that, everything is built on energy, but can an energy actually attached to those. I don't know.
Right. And
Well,
I don't. Go for it. Sorry.
I was gonna say with pickle jar, I would think if there's something cursed, it would definitely been in there because there's so much stuff.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, yes, definitely.
And honestly, I think what also kind of brought me a little comfort with the pickle jar place, the fact that the people we were hanging out with work there, so they're used to this type of thing.
Yes.
You know, maybe not to the extreme that we dealt with that one night, but they were used to it. They love working there. So I'm like, okay, well, if you guys can handle being in here, hell, the guy even has a room that he sleeps in. Me and Sean were like, yeah, it's kind of strange. So I'm like, okay, well, obviously you guys can handle it. So can we.
Yeah.
You know. And of course, with like Bel Air House, you know, Kristen owns that place, and I haven't been there yet. And I was a little in the beginning, but now I'm like really excited. It's like, well, if she can handle it and knows what's going on, then
Well, and I think it depends. Like going way back to the beginning when our place in Texas, when all this stuff was happening, you know, I would be in bed and you know the shadows, and you'd hear the banging and different things, and I was to the point where I almost, it was almost like there was a war going on, but I was almost battling with it. And this is where I said my senses kind of worked with it, but I got to where I got tired of it.
yeah.
Like I was scared of it for a while, but then I got angry and I got annoyed by it. And I got to a point where it was like, you know, you need to leave me alone. You need to do this. And I would start thinking like, this sounds funny, but you know, these things were dark, and it was always when it was dark. So I would start seeming like in my head, I would start seeming like light stuff, like you know, this little light of mine, or funny thing is, I would start humming like the Light Bright song from the Light Bright little game. You know, it was back in the '80s, or all of that stuff, and it actually would kind of subside. Like it would go away from that. So it was almost like it was working, you know, and it was weird. But I remember, so this is really funny and you guys will laugh. There was one point where I was like, it was just happening and it would go on for hours and it would just annoy you. And I was having a lot of issues with, there was like a black mass that would be on the ceiling above me in the bed, and you could just see it coming down and going down. And I would just, I got so frustrated, and I was just wore out and tired, and I just wanted to sleep. And I remember like I would listen to songs with light into my, you know, from my phone. And I, all of a sudden the I Caramba from Lion King came on. And when that hit, the sun came right through the windows of our door, and we had a glass door in the bedroom. And at that moment, it was like everything went boom, and it just went bright, and it was like the most wow moment. It was really funny because it happened right when that song just hit, and it was just like it was meant to happen, and it was kind of interesting. But yeah, yeah. So I don't remember how I got back to that, but we've been talking for a long time. I don't remember, but
it's okay.
But you know, talking about, and something I never did talk about, they were asking me about like my gifts and stuff. So I was at a point where I was, so I had a lot of feelings. I had a lot of intuitions. I did hear voices a lot. I actually would hear, I would actually hear family members. And that was kind of weird for me. It was hard to handle because it was family members that were passed. And I, you know, it brings up a lot of feelings and emotions again. And it was just, it was difficult, but I felt like I was hearing their voices because they were there to battle what was going on in our house. Which, by the way, we were told, I was told that there was a demon and a trickster in that house. I don't know, but we did have somebody telling us that. The other two events, and then I'll stop tangering on this.
You're fine.
So, two things that happened that really stick in my head were I was asleep one night and I was dreaming, but I was dreaming. I forget what it was I was thinking about, but in this dream, it was like there was a wind, it was dusty, and it was hot, and it reminded me of hell. It just reminded me of hell. But it was just, I was there, and I just woke up there. It was like I woke up there. And it was just scary. It freaked me out. It scared me. And when I woke up, Sean was shaking me. He said I was screaming in my sleep, and he was shaking me. When I woke up, I literally almost punched the crap out of him. I was so freaked out. It scared the crap out of me. And we ended up going, we went to Christmas to my mom's in, we had left like a week early, and like the day after we left, there was this huge tornado that hit Dallas. It went through and it hit an apartment complex and killed a bunch of people in the apartment complex. And it was a very destructive tornado. And it just made me feel like, oh, wow, that really had that feeling of that. So it kind of was an odd situation for me. I don't know. I guess in me, I kind of felt like maybe that's what I was seeing before it happened.
Like a premonition, I guess, or
yeah. And I had another experience like that. So when my daughter was visiting us in Texas, we went to this store. It was like it was a small little like metaphysical type store. They did different things in the back. So the back was like they did like classes where they tell you about stones and stuff like that. But we were in the front part, and they had art, they had stones, they had, you could buy smudges, you could buy all kinds of stuff there. And we were just looking around, and there were these pictures, and they were all pictures of eyes, just the eyes, but they were eyes of different animals.
Oh.
And it was like, like a big picture, and their eye was like covering the whole thing. And it was, I mean, they were like lifelike pictures. They were pencil drawings, but they looked lifelike. And I saw this one, and I looked at it, and I just kept looking at it and looking at it. And all of a sudden I said, it knows. And they're like, everybody stopped. The owner and both of them, they just kind of looked at me, and I'm like, it knows it's going to die. It knows it's going to die. And all of a sudden I just started bawling. I mean, literally bawling. And it was one of those overwhelming times, just like I said, I've had, and I was like, it knows it's going to die. It knows. It's looking right at him. And again, about a week later was when the incident happened in Cincinnati at the zoo, where that kid was in the zoo, and the gorilla got the kid, and they ended up shooting the gorilla. I forget the name of the gorilla. But when that happened on the news, I was like, holy shit.
Harambe, right?
I just because it was, and I just like, oh my God, I knew. It was like deep down I knew. And it was the weirdest thing, and it creeped me out. And ironically, we have that picture. So Sean knew I was so drawn to it. Sean actually bought it for me as a gift because it was around my birthday, and he actually bought it for me, like trying to do a good thing. And it was nice. It was so sincere. It was so sweet. But I was kind of like, when he told me that, I was like, oh, but I've seen, I looked at it, and it's not the same. I don't have that. I don't see that no more.
Right.
But just that time, it was just the most weirdest thing. I mean, it was like, it was looking at me, and I could just see the fear in its eyes. Like it was scared. It was scared, but it knew. And it was like, wow. So that's where I say I have these weird feelings. And when all that was happening and the haunting of the house and everything, I just got to a point where, like I told you, those things would go on for hours, and it would just, how spirits exhaust you. Mm-hmm. And I got to the point where whether it was between that, whether it was, the sleep apnea stuff, whatever, it was killing me, literally.
Now, with the sleep apnea stuff, do you think that possibly could have caused hallucinations, or?
Possibly. I'm not going to say, that's where I say, do I believe everything that happened and I saw? Most of it, yes. but I still question some of it too. You know, I'm just like, some of it's so far. I mean, there's things I haven't even mentioned that are so far fetched. I won't even
Right.
talk about it, you know, because it almost gets comical, and it's like, you know, how much do you believe and how much is not real?
Exactly.
But I mean, Sean was there, and Sean can constitute for a lot of it. I will tell you that when we moved out, I drove all the animals up to Pittsburgh when we moved to Pittsburgh, and Sean's dad went with him, and they packed everything up to bring here. And while they were packing, there was whatever it was in our house was making noises. His dad heard it. There was flashlights. There was stuff being thrown at them. Like, it went ballistic when we moved out, and his dad saw all that. So we also have his dad as a witness of this stuff as well. So it's not, you know, there's multiple people that witnessed it. So
do you know any of the history of the place?
No. The land that it's built on is supposed to be an Indian area.
Okay. Was
we
it an
were-
older house or?
No, it was built in 70. I think it was 72.
Okay.
It was the first one in our complex. But like I said, the neighbors have had stuff, and there were other, I mean, neighbors had some stories of stuff that have been going on in that whole neighborhood area. So I don't know, you know, and we didn't share any of this stuff with them as well, because, you know, they're the nut job. You know, so you just don't do that. And it took a long time for me to be comfortable with talking about a lot of this. You know, especially when I start talking about like the whole thing with the gorilla eyes and all that stuff. I mean, you know, I told that story to my mom once, and she just looked at me like, okay, honey. You know, it's like, yeah, well, but you know, it really affected me a lot. So,
Yeah.
You know, however it was, it affected me. And the fact that these things are happening now with you guys on these investigations just reiterates it. So I do feel that vibe, but I'm always hesitant because I do still care about what people think. And
of course.
You know, I think that's part of it. But I think as we grow as our team, I'm going to get more comfortable, and then, you know,
Well,
I'll
I know,
share
like,
with you guys, and we'll go from there.
Yeah.
we've talked about it before that, like, you know, the more that you do this, it seems like, I don't know, stuff tries to come in contact you with even more, like either that or maybe you're just being paranoid more. But like, even like at work or something, like, which I you know, I just work at a school. I don't think there's any history or anything really, but you're walking around by yourself. Sometimes you're in a building by yourself in the dark by yourself. And like, you think you hear something, you think you see something, maybe because we do this all the time, maybe something's trying to get a hold of you, you know?
Yeah. Well, and I think, you know, I think people with abilities, it takes a long time to get comfortable with that. I know April and I do talk a lot. I know April has a lot of sensitivity, and, you know, she can, you know, just talking with her, I hope she's okay with me sharing a little bit, but I know she gets self-conscious and worried. You know, I think she feels the same way as me sometimes. Is like, you know, people can't believe what this is, you know, and you just when you find someone, you know, that was one of my connections with this team is, you know, me and April can share those stories, and you know, we get it, you know. You know, when we you know, our faithful companion Karma, you know, I love her to death. I think she's got great insight, and I think, you know, I believe her. You know, I believe in the things that she's saying. You get the feeling, sensations. You know, a lot of that stuff corresponds with her, and so I think she's a really good. You know, like I said, what was it I said at the pickle jar? She's our
eighth member.
She's our investigator from far away.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
She's awesome.
Yes.
She talked about actually coming to Pittsburgh. I don't know if she was this year or next year or something, but yeah, we definitely got to meet up with her if she comes.
That'd be fantastic.
Did you guys see what Jen just sent to the chat?
No,
I have not.
Okay, she sent something about Hillview, July 2nd. They have a public. I don't know if you guys would be interested, but
I will be in Indiana.
Okay.
That's on July 2nd.
Yeah.
That's a Saturday. I will be at the
Yeah.
Indianapolis Zoo with my grandkids.
Oh, nice.
I think I have something going on. I just don't know what. I'll have to find out.
You're making shit up, Phil. I don't hear that.
Keep sending dates because I'm not really filling anything else up. So I do have a few weekends, but I do
Okay.
have a lot of. I think like after October, I'm pretty like open book.
Right.
But the next like few months, I'm really booked up a lot.
Well, only investigation wise, we have coming up. It's like September. Like,
Yes, we have Lake Shawnee. We have Lake Shawnee, which I have saved up, and
Yes.
I do have HillCon. I'm definitely going there.
August 13th. That's
Yes.
actually the first time the full team will be together.
Mhm.
Yes,
Like at one of these conventions.
I will definitely be there. And will they have an investigation that night? They might do it.
Yeah, I kind of think they do.
They usually do a public, so
Yeah.
I'm wondering
Yeah.
if they do a public that night. I will probably stay and do that. I would like to do that, so that'll be a chance for me to see Hillview up close and personal.
Mhm.
Outside of what we toured.
Yeah.
And then of course Bel Air. I'm so excited for Bel Air. I can't.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you guys have. That's like the next one. I can't wait for. Yeah, I'm excited to see what next year holds. Next year,
Yeah.
I love these, but I'm like some of the ones we keep talking about for next, and we've brought up so many places.
Mhm.
It's like wow.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be
Well,
a
we need to get to Salem and New Orleans.
Yes.
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 I'm good for both of those.
Mhm.
And I want to go to Gettysburg. I have never been.
Well, actually, we're supposed to be
Really?
going there. Are you coming with us, Phil?
When is that again? November
August.
or
I think
August?
it's August 21st, something like that. It's at Gettysburg, the Battlefield Bash. We were actually supposed to be vendors on it,
Yeah.
but we didn't get the money in time. So that's why we're not on that show, but we're still going. I know me and Jen already booked our place.
Oh yeah, I think I spoke with you and Jen about that too. You said August 21st.
It's the 20th through the 22nd.
You should go if you're able to. It
Yeah,
was
for sure.
we just went early in May, mid-May.
19th through the 21st, I think, is what it
19th
is.
through the 21st.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had a great time, Phil. It was really fun.
Is it good?
Yeah, the Museum of Haunted Objects. You have to go say hi to them, Sean, because they
For sure.
remember you. That's a pretty good tour. We didn't get to do any of the other ghost tours. We had scheduled one, but it canceled. They got canceled at the last minute. But there's so many tours there. I really enjoyed the Jenny Wade house.
Yeah.
Now, ironically,
You been to the orphanage, Phil? Or not Phil, Troy?
we did not get to go to the orphanage.
Orphanage
That
was
was
pretty cool.
that was one of the places that we were supposed to go to. So the House of Haunted Objects is actually the house where Jenny Wade was born. That is her family house. And then the house that she was killed at is like down the street.
Oh.
But her spirit is in the house that she grew up in, not the house that she was shot at.
Oh, geez.
So they have regular conversation with her.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure
that
we'll-
is pretty cool. There's some really good stuff with that place.
We'll definitely end up doing some stuff, I'm sure, while we're there that weekend.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like a public ghost hunt or something or whatever, but I'm sure we'll get into
And
something.
I highly recommend the Segway tour.
Nice. That sounds really cool.
That was so fun. It was so worth it. Even Sean is the one that he doesn't like anything, and he loved it. He absolutely loved it. So it was definitely worth it.
Well, I heard that what is it called? What the heck is that place called? Where the sharpshooter was. The Coffin Rock, is that what it's called? You know what I'm talking about, Troy?
Mhm. Oh.
Like if you're on the battlefield and they have
Devil's
yeah. I heard that
Devil's
they heard that's closed currently, and it's supposed to be closed for like a year.
They're
or two.
redoing it. Yes, it was supposed to close. It'll be closed. I think it'll be closed when you guys are there.
That kind of sucks.
They're redoing the roads. They're like making them wider or something.
Okay.
But they're doing a lot of road work there.
Well, I don't know. We got only 30 seconds left to go. Anything else to promote?
All right. Well, I've had a great time. That 2 hours
for
went
sure.
fast.
It did.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
Yes,
I mean-
I'm excited for many haunts to come.
Yes.
And I mean, we'll definitely even with the podcast stuff, if you ever want to co-host, you can come on and get some practice.
Nice.
Yeah, brother. Have 2 co-hosts. That'd be awesome, man.
I'd love to be on sometime with you guys.
Or hell, if I can't do it one day, you could always like be the guy who takes over. Well,
I'll be Phil. I'll just have to shave my head.
Oh, yeah, you can pull it off. I think you could.
Just have to
I
wear
don't know
you'll wear
about
the
that.
bumpy mask and have to do it like
Although
that.
the grays are getting harder and harder to cover, so I may be with you very soon.
Yeah, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
That's awesome, man.
never
I love
go old gracefully.
it.
But Phil, what's our little catch line or whatever?
Everyone needs
Catchphrase.
a little bump in the night.
All right, thanks, Troy. Thanks for coming on. We'll see you in
Thanks,
a bit.
brother.
See you on Saturday, actually.
Bye.
Yeah, man. That was fun, brother.